Today I'm going to show you how to change a car battery over without losing all your dashboard settings. This is a 2007 model vehicle, and most cars of this era and forward of course have a digital readout. I'll just turn the ignition on, you can see that. They give you the time. We turn the stereo on. We have the CD player. We can click through the modes with our steering wheel controls. All of these are settings, the clocks, the settings, the radio, etc. You may have electric seats that you've set up to specific settings. You'll lose all this when you disconnect the battery on most cars, and this video is to show you how to avoid having to go and reprogram all of these settings. Plus, if you've lost your original books, you'll need a code in most cases. If you've lost those books, or you bought a car that didn't have them, you then have to go back to the dealership to try and get those codes back to reset your vehicle. Very time consuming and a lot of trouble. So this is to avoid all of those problems when it gets time to change over your battery. Okay, today we're going to change this battery. The reason why I'm changing this battery is that it's around the 4-year mark, same age as the car. I've noticed recently that the charge indicator window is black, saying that it needs to be charged, and says to me it's on its way out, and I don't want to get caught down the road with a dead battery. So normally you need 2 ring spanners, one for the bracket here and one for the terminals. Normally different sizes. No use me quoting those sizes because they'll be different on different cars. So anyway, the first stage is to remove the bracket. Some brackets will have, and that just slides in. We'll remove that. Okay. Now what we're going to add to this is, and remove the protection of the positive side, the insulator, because we've got to get to these terminals. So what we've got to do today is put a small amount of current on the electrical circuit, so when we disconnect the positive and negative leads, there's a small current in the system which will retain the memory settings in your dashboard. Okay, what we got here is commonly known as a memory minder. Now these are a little 9-volt, take a little 9-volt battery. That's all that's needed to put on the circuit to keep the memories in your dashboard for your radio, clock settings, seat settings, etc. Check if you've got a manual that you don't already have a retaining battery, just to be safe, but if you don't, this is the best way to go. Okay, so there's our system there. Now I'm going to check that with a multimeter just to be cautious. You don't normally have to do this, but multimeters are cheap. You can pick them up for $10. If you're doing home mechanics, it's always good to have one of these to check your electrical system. So we've set that to 20 volts DC, direct current. Now, I'm just checking this. This is just to make sure that we got the potential at these terminals. C 9.3, that's an excellent battery. Always use a brand new battery. Don't get one out of an appliance, don't get one out of a cupboard drawer, because you're risking losing your settings. You've got to make sure it's a brand new battery out of the packet. Okay, so that's reading 9 volts. If I can show you that. Always remember positive first. Positive first. Red terminal or positive first. Then your negative. 9 volts. Okay, we're happy with that. Okay, now we're going to connect up our positive lead from our 9-volt battery to our positive lead. We'll put that on the lead, and then we'll connect our negative. Now give it a wiggle, because just in case there's a little build up there, you want it to be a really good contact. So let it cut in a little bit, if you know what I mean, so you got a very good connection. You don't want what they call high resistance, because if you lose this circuit, you lose your memory. These memory miners are available at most auto shops. They range from $15 to $20. Some guys might think, oh yes, I can just do that, get a battery with some alligator clips. Yes, you can, but if it slips off, you've lost it. Also, you might get someone to think, oh, I'll just connect up a battery, jump it to this one, and do it that way. Very dangerous thing to do. Just all it needs is a little 9-volt and the current to keep your memories. Okay, remember positive first. Okay, we've got our positive 9 volts to a positive lead here and to our negative lead here. It's a little 9-volt battery. So we'll take our positive cable off first, making sure that it stays connected. Keep him out of the road. Take our negative off. Keep him out of the road. Right, now that's currently putting 9 volts through the system while our main battery is disconnected. So we'll take him out, the old battery. We'll put in our new battery. There we go. Now if this is still connected, of course, we put our positive terminal on first. We'll do him up. And we'll put our negative on second. Right. Now we can safely remove our memory minder. Take our positive off first and our negative off last. And there you have it. We should have retained our memory settings for the car while replacing the main battery. We're just going to tighten that up, make sure it's nice and tight, not too tight of course. Put our insulator back on, and there we have the battery changed. Okay, not forgetting, last thing we do is I put our battery clamp back on. Now it's always dark down there, so it's always handy to have a torch on hand. That way we can see where this has got to go quite easily. There we are. There we are, and we can just put him back in place. That's bedding in there. So that's not moving now. Bracket's nice and tight. You don't have to go too mad with this in case you damage the casing. But that's good. Okay, here we are back in the car after we've changed our battery over using the appliance. We'll turn our ignition on. And there's all our settings. Don't have to recode anything, which is great. Also remember, when doing this, make sure before you start that your car door is closed, all lights are turned off, boot lights, accessory lights, everything, because it will deplete that little 9-volt battery very quickly, and it'll fail. So before you do this, make sure every light, doors are closed, boots closed, ignition off, interior lights are off. Anything that can drain power is off before you attempt to do this.